Stop for a moment. Listen closely. Wealth is not created through noise, force, or endless effort. It arrives quietly. It moves towards stillness. Many search for money in the outer world, yet miss the truth hiding within. Riches follow alignment, not struggle. Power follows clarity, not pressure. Today reveals a principle few understand. A principle taught in silence, not spoken in crowds. Those who grasp it experience a shift that feels subtle at first, then undeniable. This is not belief or hope. This is awareness applied at the right moment. January 10th carries a precise energy, not mystical fantasy. A real inner turning point. Certain days sharpen the mind and soften resistance. When timing and awareness meet, doors open without force. Listening twice is not ritual. Listening twice trains the mind to release old tension and allow natural flow. This teaching matters because wealth responds to inner permission. Without it, opportunity passes unseen. With it, life rearranges quietly. Calm replaces urgency. Certainty replaces doubt. Action becomes effortless because resistance dissolves. Stay until the end. The final insight completes the understanding. Miss it, and the message remains fragmented. Receive it, and direction becomes clear. This knowledge is simple, yet powerful enough to shift outcomes. I speak as Shi Heng Yi, sharing wisdom rooted in discipline, stillness, and truth. No exaggeration, no empty promise. Only a quiet law that governs money, energy, and timing. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a place for clarity, balance, and inner power. Subscribe and continue this path with us. Notice this carefully. Certain days carry more weight than others, not because of superstition, but because of alignment. Time is not flat. Some moments act like doors, others act like walls. Most people move through days without awareness, so they feel no difference. Those who are attentive feel the shift immediately. January 10th stands at a unique point. The rush of the new year has settled. Noise has faded. Intention remains. This creates a rare balance between momentum and clarity. The mind is no longer distracted by beginnings, yet it has not returned to old habits. This space is powerful. On such days, decisions carry extra force. Thoughts settle deeper. Intentions imprint faster. A choice made here does not remain a thought. It becomes direction. That is why ancient traditions respected timing. Not all actions belong to all moments. January 10th functions as a reset. Not an emotional reset, but a mental one. The inner resistance built from the past year loosens. The body relaxes its grip on old patterns. Awareness becomes sharper. When awareness sharpens, alignment follows naturally. Alignment is when inner state and outer movement stop conflicting. Many try to move forward while their inner world pulls backward. On days like this, that pull weakens. The internal argument quiets. A simple decision feels enough. This is also a decision point. Not dramatic, not loud, subtle. Life listens closely now. Small inner shifts echo outward more clearly. A calm intention carries more weight than forced action. This is why money, opportunity, and clarity respond differently on such days. They are not attracted to effort. They respond to coherence. January 10th offers that coherence. The gateway opens when the mind stops pushing and starts aligning. Understand this deeply. Money does not respond to exhaustion. It does not reward stress. It does not notice how hard you try. Effort alone is blind energy. Without direction, it scatters. Many work endlessly and still feel stuck because awareness is missing. Awareness is the signal. It is the inner clarity that tells life you are ready to receive. When awareness is low, opportunity passes quietly. When awareness sharpens, opportunity becomes obvious. The same world, the same chances, only perception changes. Most people believe struggle is proof of worth. They believe suffering earns reward. This belief creates resistance. The body tightens. The mind narrows. Decisions come from fear, not intelligence. Money avoids this state because it cannot flow where tension dominates. Inner state determines what you notice and how you respond. A calm mind sees options, a stressed mind overlooks. A grounded person attracts cooperation without asking. This is not luck. This is alignment in motion. Awareness shifts behavior naturally. You speak differently. You choose differently. You act at the right time instead of all the time. Action becomes precise. Energy stops leaking. This is why two people can work the same hours with different results. One is present. One is reactive. Presence creates efficiency. Reactivity creates noise. Money follows clarity because clarity removes contradiction. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions point in the same direction, life responds. Not instantly, not dramatically, gradually, then suddenly. The moment awareness rises, resistance begins to fall. You stop forcing outcomes, you stop chasing validation, you start recognizing patterns, the right conversations appear, the right ideas surface, not because you worked harder, but because you finally noticed what was already there. This shift feels quiet, almost ordinary, yet everything begins moving differently from that point forward. There's a silent force that pushes money away, and most people never see it. It operates beneath thought, beneath words. On the surface, they want abundance. Beneath that, something resists it. This resistance is not intentional. It is learned. It is stored quietly in the body and the mind. Fear is one layer. Fear of losing money. Fear of being judged for having it. Fear of change. Wealth changes relationships, routines, identity. The mind senses this and tightens. When the inner world tightens, flow stops. Guilt is another layer. Many were taught that wanting more is selfish, that spiritual people should struggle, that comfort weakens character. These ideas sit quietly in the background, shaping decisions without permission. Each time opportunity approaches, guilt whispers retreat. Unworthiness is the deepest layer, a belief formed early, not good enough, not ready, not deserving. Even success can feel uncomfortable to someone who carries this belief, so they sabotage unconsciously, they delay, they hesitate, they miss timing. Money responds to openness. Resistance feels like mixed signals, saying yes with words and no with energy. Life always responds to the stronger signal. Silence does not mean absence. It means refusal without awareness. This is why affirmations fail for many. Words try to pull forward while the body pulls back. The conflict cancels movement. Awareness dissolves this conflict gently, without force, without judgment. When these hidden blocks surface, they do not disappear instantly. They soften. The grip loosens. The nervous system relaxes. The signal changes. The moment resistance weakens, money stops feeling heavy. Desire becomes neutral. Expectation becomes calm. Opportunities no longer feel threatening. They feel natural. This is when life begins offering instead of testing. Listening is not passive, it is an inner adjustment. When the mind stops talking, the body begins to receive. Most people listen only to respond, to judge, to compare. True listening dissolves that habit. It creates space. Space is where alignment begins. Sound carries structure. Words carry direction. When received without resistance, they reorganize the inner world. This happens quietly. No effort, no force. The nervous system responds before the intellect understands. Breath deepens. Tension softens. Attention steadies. Just listening matters because it bypasses struggle. Action often comes from urgency. Listening comes from openness. In openness, the mind becomes receptive instead of defensive. This is why repetition works. The first time, the mind resists. The second time, it relaxes. Resistance fades. Reception strengthens. Intention shapes how sound lands. When intention is calm and precise, words carry weight. Not emotional weight. Directional weight. The body senses coherence. The mind aligns with it naturally. This is not belief. This is regulation. Listening interrupts unconscious patterns. The familiar inner noise pauses. In that pause, something new settles. A different rhythm. A different signal. This shift may feel subtle, but it changes how you respond to life afterward. When frequency shifts, perception shifts. The same environment appears different. The same situation offers new options. Money responds to this shift. Because money follows clarity. It moves towards stability, not chaos. Listening aligns thought, emotion, and body. When these three agree, action becomes effortless. Decisions come clean. Timing improves. Waste disappears. This is why silence has always been used in training. Silence sharpens reception. Sound then becomes instruction, not information. Instruction moves energy. By simply listening, you step out of resistance. You stop interfering. Alignment does the work quietly, efficiently, and without struggle. The first time you listen, the mind stays alert. It measures. It questions. It protects what it already knows. Old patterns do not disappear easily. They surface. They resist. This is natural. Awareness begins by exposing what is familiar. During the first listening, tension becomes visible. Doubt appears. The inner voice interrupts. This is not failure. This is the pattern loosening its grip. The moment you notice resistance, it has already weakened. The second listening changes the relationship. The mind recognizes safety. It no longer needs to defend. Attention deepens. Words move past the surface and settle below thought. This is where change installs itself. Repetition is not convincing. It is allowing. The body learns through rhythm, not logic. When something is heard again in calm awareness, it becomes familiar. Familiarity dissolves fear. Acceptance follows naturally. This is how habits form and how they dissolve. The nervous system needs confirmation before it releases control. The second listening provides that confirmation. It says nothing dangerous is happening. It says receiving is safe. Once acceptance forms, the signal changes. The inner world stops sending mixed messages. Thoughts align with feeling. Feeling aligns with action. This coherence attracts response. Money responds to stable signals. Not excitement, not desperation. Stability communicates readiness. Repetition stabilizes the inner state. Listening twice creates depth. The first opens the door. The second allows you to step through. Without depth, insight remains intellectual. With depth, it becomes lived. This process feels ordinary, almost unremarkable. Yet the shift is precise. Old patterns lose authority. New orientation settles quietly. Repetition creates trust. Trust allows flow. And flow begins long before results appear. Wealth does not begin with numbers. It begins with permission. Permission to receive. Permission to receive. Permission to accept abundance without guilt, without fear, without resistance. Most people chase money as if it is hidden somewhere outside, as if their value depends on accumulation. This chase creates tension. It signals scarcity. Life responds to the signal it receives. Money flows not to force, but to openness. The moment you allow it, everything shifts. Not magically, not immediately. Subtle changes occur first. Thoughts become lighter, decisions clearer, actions calmer. Opportunities stop feeling like struggle. They begin to feel natural. This is the turning point. A single shift from pushing to allowing changes the entire rhythm of your relationship with wealth. Chasing creates friction. It fragments energy. It scatters focus. Allowing consolidates energy. Alignment replaces effort. The mind stops calculating. The heart stops fearing. The body relaxes. When these three align, life starts responding. The world moves toward readiness, not resistance. Permission carries authority. It tells the universe, I am ready, I am willing, I accept what comes. Numbers, bank balances, and visible results are only reflections. They follow, not lead. The inner state dictates outer flow. Struggle cannot override acceptance. Control cannot replace alignment. Desire without permission remains blocked, no matter how intense. This principle is simple but overlooked. People think they must earn before they deserve. The truth is the opposite. When you deserve in feeling first, earning becomes effortless. When you stop resisting, you stop waiting. Energy begins to move. Open channels attract. Calm expectation draws. The signal of readiness cannot be ignored. Allowing wealth means standing firm internally while letting life respond externally. It means holding a quiet certainty that abundance is your natural state. This is the power that transforms pursuit into arrival. The moment alignment begins, the change is subtle but undeniable. The mind softens, thoughts no longer race or argue. Clarity rises quietly, like sunlight through clouds. Decisions no longer feel heavy. You notice a sense of ease in how you think and respond. The nervous system relaxes, and tension that you didn't know existed begins to dissolve. New thoughts arrive effortlessly. Ideas that seemed unreachable or hidden now appear naturally. Solutions to old problems emerge without effort. The mind begins connecting dots it ignored before. Patterns become visible. The world feels more organized. Life no longer resists your attention. It responds to it. Unexpected opportunities begin to surface. Not always obvious at first, but unmistakable once recognized. Conversations, chance encounters, sudden insights, they all carry a subtle direction, guiding you toward alignment with what you desire. The difference is not luck, it is coherence. Your inner state has shifted, and life mirrors that shift. Emotion changes quietly as well. Fear diminishes. Excitement softens into calm expectation. The usual urge to force outcomes or overthink decisions fades. You feel centered, steady, and capable of seeing what truly matters. The world no longer feels chaotic. It feels responsive. Physically, alignment is noticeable. Breath deepens. Posture relaxes. Even simple routines carry more ease. Energy flows without effort, like water finding its own path. Internal resistance loosens. You begin noticing opportunities before others do. Not because you search harder, but because your awareness has expanded. This internal shift creates a ripple. Thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to move together. You are no longer pushing against life. Life begins to flow with you. Momentum forms naturally. Subtle signals guide you. Paths that were once hidden now seem obvious. The inner calm becomes the magnet that draws everything into harmony. Money never responds to force. Pushing harder, striving longer, or obsessing over outcomes only tightens the flow. Life is not a river to be dammed and directed. It is a current that responds to the shape of your vessel. When you resist, it pushes back. When you align, it carries you forward effortlessly. The law of response is simple but rarely understood. It states that the universe mirrors your inner state. Tension repels, calm attracts, urgency scatters, presence gathers. Effort without alignment meets resistance. Effort with alignment meets opportunity. The distinction is subtle, yet it determines everything. When you stop forcing life, something remarkable happens. Doors begin to open that you never knocked on. Conversations shift tone. Opportunities arrive without searching. The mind notices things it overlooked before. The body relaxes into timing it could never create alone. This is the power of response. Responding instead of pushing means observing first, then acting. It means listening to cues, sensing flow, and choosing with clarity. Action becomes precise, not frantic. Energy that was wasted in struggle now fuels growth and reception. The world no longer resists you because you no longer resist it. Life starts cooperating in small, unmistakable ways. A sudden insight appears. A person reaches out. A problem resolves with ease. These are signals that alignment is active. You do not manufacture them, you simply allow them to arrive. The more you respond, instead of push, the more momentum builds. Resistance fades. Timing becomes effortless. Every choice carries more weight, more effectiveness. You realize that wealth, opportunity, and progress are never about how much force you apply. They are about how clearly and calmly you align, and how fully you allow life to meet you in that state. January 10th is not magical, yet it carries undeniable significance. It does not create wealth out of thin air. It does not grant fortune to those unprepared. What it does is reveal readiness. It is a mirror reflecting who is aligned, who has loosened resistance, and who is open to receiving what life offers. This day acts as a decision point, a quiet moment that carries more weight than noise or effort ever could. The choices made here, even silently, ripple through the weeks and months ahead. Internal alignment meets timing. Thoughts, feelings, and intentions converge. Those who are present feel it as a subtle shift. Those who ignore it continue as before, unaware that opportunity was never absent, it simply awaited readiness. Readiness is not obvious. It does not announce itself with grand gestures. It is calm, steady, and precise. You notice it in the way your mind feels lighter, your decisions feel clear, and your responses no longer come from fear or scarcity. This is the inner signal that the day responds to. On January 10th, small choices carry profound significance. Listening twice, holding calm intention, allowing thoughts and emotions to settle. These simple acts reveal whether you are moving in alignment or still resisting. Life measures coherence, not effort. It responds to the inner state that has been cultivated quietly, often unnoticed. The power of this day lies in its subtlety. It tests presence, patience, and permission. It shows who has shifted from chasing to receiving. Those who recognize the moment, even in silence, step into flow. Those who do not remain unchanged, as if the day passed without meaning. This is why preparation matters more than action. The internal choice to allow, to align, to trust is what the day amplifies. January 10th does not work for you if your mind and heart are still in conflict. It works for you when you have already begun to release, to soften, to open. It is a quiet, decisive moment where readiness meets opportunity, and the first signs of change quietly unfold. Release control. Stop trying to figure out every step, every path, every method. Money does not arrive according to your schedule, your plan, or your expectations. Insisting on a specific way creates tension, blocks flow, and signals resistance. Life cannot respond to a mind that demands the how before it allows the what. Detachment is not giving up. It is aligning. It is trusting that when readiness is present, the right opportunities will appear naturally. Focus on your inner state rather than the external method. Calm, clarity, and openness become the magnet. The universe responds not to strategy, but to coherence. When the mind stops controlling, energy moves freely. Trying to manage the how scatters attention and fragments energy. Every new thought of worry, every imagined obstacle strengthens invisible walls. The more you push for a method, the more subtle resistance accumulates. Real wealth cannot navigate these walls. It flows only where space exists. Focus on readiness instead. Prepare your mind, your emotions, your energy. Let clarity guide your decisions. Let calm direct your actions. Watch how alignment quietly reshapes the way life presents itself. Opportunities, ideas, and solutions arrive in forms you could not have anticipated. They are better, more precise, more fitting than anything you could have imagined. Detachment does not mean passivity. It means movement without friction. It means observing, sensing, and responding without forcing. When you let go of how money will come, the mind relaxes, the body settles, and the heart trusts. The resistance that once blocked flow dissolves completely. In this state, life begins to cooperate effortlessly. The universe no longer meets resistance with resistance. Every signal you send now communicates readiness. Every choice becomes aligned. Money, opportunity, and abundance no longer feel distant. They appear naturally, quietly, and inevitably, following the inner state you have prepared rather than the strategies you have imagined. There is a subtle but profound difference between silent expectation and desperate wanting. One feels calm, steady, and patient. The other feels urgent, restless, and anxious. Most people mistake intensity for power, believing that pushing harder will pull results closer. In reality, force repels what they seek most. Silent expectation is quiet confidence. It does not demand, it allows. It trusts that readiness has already prepared the way. The mind is alert but not tense. The body is relaxed but not careless. Actions come from clarity, not panic. Energy aligns naturally, and life responds to that alignment with ease. Desperate wanting, by contrast, carries vibration that disrupts flow. The mind obsessively chases, fears, and doubts. The body tightens. Every action signals scarcity rather than abundance. This state repels opportunity because it communicates resistance more than readiness. It blocks reception before it even arrives. Expectation attracts because it mirrors the way life moves. Life flows to coherence, not chaos. Calm energy creates space for opportunity. It allows subtle cues to be noticed. It permits ideas, people, and resources to appear in unexpected ways. The universe meets expectation with gentle cooperation. Wanting repels because it signals imbalance. It creates friction that life cannot navigate. The more desperate the pursuit, the stronger the invisible barriers. Energy leaks into tension, and the doors that should open remain closed. Listeners must consciously choose their inner state. To attract abundance, the mind, heart, and body must agree on permission, calmness, and readiness. The quiet expectation becomes the magnet, pulling opportunity and wealth naturally. Desperation, no matter how strong or sincere, remains a wall that blocks arrival. The choice is subtle but decisive. Every thought, every emotion, every breath communicates readiness or resistance. Those who choose silent expectation step into alignment. Those who cling to wanting remain in struggle. The difference is not in effort, but in the vibration of presence. Now, take a moment and prepare yourself. Set your intention clearly. Relax your body, quiet your mind, and release all tension. There is no need to force, no need to beg. Simply allow. Be open. Let the words, the energy, and the frequency reach you without resistance. As you listen, trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that readiness alone creates space for abundance to flow naturally. Every calm breath, every moment of stillness strengthens your alignment. If this message resonated with you, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to Shaolin Divine Flow. Join us on this path of clarity, presence, and inner power. Remember, wealth is not a race, and abundance is not a struggle. It begins quietly, within you, when you choose openness over force, calm over urgency, and trust over doubt. Step into this state today, and watch as life meets you in ways you never expected. Openness is the key. Alignment is the doorway. Your readiness is the invitation.